Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another video where I'll talk about levels and see whether or not I like them. And today's video topic is about good parts in bad levels. Pretty self-explanatory. When there's a level that I deem pretty bad in terms of quality, but there's just that one part while doesn't save the level from being bad, it leaks way better compared to the other parts in the level. I've said this before in my previous video about bad parts on good levels, but this mainly happens on mega collabs because every creator is different and consistently have every part have the same quality is pretty hard. And as you will see, every level that I will be talking about is a mega collab. Once again, these are purely my opinion, and if you don't agree with it, then more power to you. Also, don't send any hate to the levels and creators I will be talking about. I know I will be talking about something positive about certain levels, but I am still talking about bad levels, so again, don't send hate to the levels and creators. And with that out of the way, let's start the video starting with... Oh man, starting off great, aren't we? Besides the obvious problem, the main problem I have with pumped up kicks is that the level just feels very bland and boring, especially for such a fun song they used. Like, there was no thought into making this level, and it's very obvious that the level was made to just cash in on the pumped up kicks meme, which was somewhat popular back then. It doesn't even seem like everyone enjoyed doing their parts. Even the creators that I personally really like Mr. PPS, doesn't really look like they wanted to be in this collab. There was clearly no direction from the host on what they want the level to be, and it clearly shows. I honestly don't know what more I can say to the level besides, because the level is just that boring. I mean, we start the level with the 1.0 blocks, and no, it does not look good in my opinion. But surely there's just one part that sort of lightened up the level a bit. And sure enough, I think Jonathan GD kinda helped the level a bit. Now yes, I will say one thing, Jonathan's part doesn't feel like it fits with the level. However, if you have a level as boring as Pumped Up Kicks, I feel like something like Jonathan's part feels very welcoming. Jonathan's style has always been such a pleasant to look in the eyes, and this is no exception. The block design feels so nice and simple, it fits very well with its part of the song. And I love how Jonathan used the white glow on the block design. The spike design too is very unique. I kinda wish I see this spike design in more levels besides this damn level. The colors too is just very nice to look at. I know it's just rainbow, but the way Jonathan uses the colors is just very pleasant. It's not too vibrant nor is it too muted. The background is simple but effective. Even though it's just a bunch of squares rotating, it just fits very well with the part. I know it's not anything like special in terms of Jonathan's standards, hell, I'm pretty sure this was reused in Butidi 3, but just seeing Jonathan's part in this level is enough to bump the level from a 2 out of 10 to a 3.5 out of 10. Oh god, not again. I just don't know why this level was made. Like, I get that this is a fan sequel to the Sonic series, but like, nothing about the level screams the Sonic series. In fact, this has the problems Hypersonic had and made it 10 times worse. The only other reason I could think of on why this level was made was because people had some problems with the new Sonic series levels. So as a response, he tried to make a better sequel, but like, this fixes nothing on the problems people had with the new Sonic series levels. It actually added more problems. How do you even do that? And not only that, this level just looks terrible. You can already tell something feels wrong from the start with some of the worst glow usage I've ever seen in a rated level, and it's followed up by invisible portals and orbs galore. Even for early 2.1 standards, a lot of the parts just look so bad, ranging from either terrible or just straight up generic. A couple of examples are Starship GD's parts that, besides not fitting with the level, just looks kind of bland without the background, and the color combination of the blocks in the background just looks kind of ugly. And Rocker Roy's part, which just looks like an early Felix Ram level that uses something from Extruller for the song. It was very clear that there was no direction on what he wants this level to be. Heck, I even have a theory that the unnecessarily long end screen was there because he doesn't know what to do with the level anymore, but feels the need to use the song until the end. But somehow, in some way, despite everything that's wrong with the level, there is still one part of the level that kind of looks good compared to the others. Lucas, yeah, Claw 99, I'm just gonna call this guy Lucas. I do want to give an honorable mention to Angry Boy's part. His part kind of reminds me of a sort of classic Woogie style but made in 2.1. But I don't know, there's just something missing from Angry Boy. But Lucas's part is very unique with how they decorate. How do I say this? The style they used feels like a mix of core and laser blitz. A combination that I didn't think would work, but it surprisingly does. In fact, the core aspect of the part kind of makes it feel less empty and boring. It feels like there's a lot going on with it. The colors are oddly fitting. The usage of black and white really fits with the whole vibe of the part and doesn't make the part look any more messy or cluttered. I also really like how it starts off monochrome and gets more colorful the more you progress through the part. The background too is pretty simple but effective. I actually would have loved to see this as a full level because I think it would be interesting, but unfortunately it's in this level. This level is such a mess. It screams typical 2.0 Mega Collab. How do I say this? It feels like a 2.0 version of Crimson Planet, which already is not a good sign because Crimson Planet is not like the best level ever. Where do I even start with this level? I guess let's start from the beginning with the skull art, and to be fair, it looks good, but man, the way it was drawn just screams 2.0. And then there's parts like Lazy, Pokoto, and Zimnite where it feels kind of weird because it feels like a mix of tech and a cave style. And not only that, the tech part feels like something I'd do as a beginner. And then after that, we got one of the goofiest demon faces I've ever seen, fading in and moving very awkwardly. And then we have parts like Nikon 99 and a lot of others really that feels bland due to the block design being non-existent and not much else going on with the parts. And oh hey, look, Bloodshot. You know, the creator of everyone's favorite level, Base Cave. And then we get a poor man's imitation of a laser blade / manic style. You get the point, it's what every unorganized 2.0 Mega Collabs are. It even has art from Rustem, that's how 2.0 it is. But besides that, the entirety of the level just feels very monochrome for me. And the reason I say that is because basically the whole level is just pretty much just one shade of red, except for like, I don't know, a couple of parts. So that really doesn't help with the level, especially with a song like Flipstep, which, while not a highly intense song, definitely deserves something more than a monochrome level. So, is there a part from the level that sort of fits with the aesthetic of the level a bit more? The answer is surprisingly yes, and it's from Penuto. Penuto's style fits really well with the unintentionally low-key vibe the level has. It's not trying too much and it actually kind of works, which is surprising to me because whenever a part of a level is not trying a lot, I would find it boring, but no, I'm actually kind of impressed with how Penuto does it. The block design and some of the structuring is pretty nice too. The block design doesn't try to do too much, which again fits with the unintentionally low-key vibe, and the way Penuto designed the spikes with how it's structured is pretty cool. And not only that, the part overall just looks really clean. The other parts of the level feels either cluttered, messy, or bland. But the way Penuto built their part just feels so clean. It's not cluttered, but it's not too empty where it feels bland. Genuinely impressed with Penuto here. Didn't think a part that doesn't feel like it's trying much is gonna be the best part, but hey, sometimes less is more. Right, where do I even start with Essentia? I was actually kind of conflicted on whether or not I like this level, because the first time seeing this level, no joke, my mouth was wide open on how shocked I was that this was a rated level. And I just hated seeing every part of it being just a layout. But at the same time, that's the gimmick of the level, and like, I don't know, I can't just hate it because the whole gimmick is it's supposed to look like that. So I tried to base my opinion from the perspective of the gimmick being it looking like a layout, and I've come to the conclusion that I still don't really like this level. Here's the thing, I don't hate layout / 1.0 style levels, but I really don't like the way Essentia executed this whole gimmick. To understand why I feel like that, let's compare to other layout / 1.0 style levels that I do like, Aleph Null and XO. These two levels have one thing in common, they keep it a bit more low-key with how they're quote-unquote decorated. Aleph Null being an effect level works because it brings off this sort of experimental vibe to it, and the way the 1.0 blocks was used is pretty cool to see. I should also probably mention Omorphia, another level I like, but I like it for the same reason as Aleph Null, just with a cooler boss fight at the end. And then we get to XO. Now, XO is treated like a traditional level a bit more. However, the biggest benefit for Ecto is the song usage. The song being such a vibe to listen to and it being more acoustic than what a GD level usually uses just amps up the level. And the fact that the level feels a lot more slower and mixed that with Kormal's unique approach to gameplay, making the level feel melancholic in a way, and you get a genuinely amazing level. Essentia's approach just doesn't sit well with me because it's trying to be a glow design level essentially, and it just doesn't fit with the whole layout gimmick in my opinion, because it results in some parts feeling unfinished and unpolished, and in some cases even looking kind of ugly, especially if they added some sort of background. But hey, there's still a part that in my opinion looks good, and we're actually gonna be talking about two parts and therefore similar reasons. And those parts are X Seiyun's part and Zafkiel plus Citrix's part. The reason I really like their parts over the others is because it actually fits really well for what the level is trying to be. It also uses the least amount of 1.0 blocks, and yeah, maybe that kind of misses the point, but hey, if it means making them my favorite parts of the level, then it's fine by me. Not only that, they also feel a lot cleaner than the other parts. It's a lot less busy, and it's also the reason on why I like some layout style levels. The fact that they're a lot more low-key than the usual levels. And overall, they're just nicer to look at than the other parts. The other parts just feels like scraps from levels they haven't made, but these actually feel like they built it from scratch and has the concept of the level in mind. And that's why I think X Seiyun and Zafkiel plus Citrix's part are good parts from Essentia, a level that I don't like. Well, that's the end of the video. Did you agree or disagree with my opinion? Maybe there's a level that you think deserves to be in this video. Let me know in the comments below, and maybe I'll put it in the sequel if I ever make one. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe since I'm trying to hit 2K by the end of the year. That's all I have for you today. I'll see you all later. Bye bye.